I'm here with Alan Dillon, Programme Manager of the Better Farm Programme. Alan, we're here on Brian Doran's farm, an open day today. Tell us a little bit about the Better Farm Beef Challenge and in terms of what you're working towards with the farms.
Right, Adam, what we're working towards here today is we're going to show what's been done on the farm over the past 12 months since Brian joined the... I'll start that again.
Go on ahead, I can cut it.
Okay. What we're doing here today, Adam, is showcasing some of what's been happening on the farm over the past 12 months since Brian joined the programme. The Better Farm Beef Challenge is now in its third phase, and we're focusing on a number of challenges this time around, such as focusing on growing 2 tonnes of dry matter in terms of grass more at the end of the programme than he did at the start, improving the breeding index of his cows, focusing on health and safety challenges. We're looking at labour, we're looking at market specs, we're looking at green farming and soil health and herd health.
In terms of, I suppose, how the farms are coping at the moment, I suppose they're no different than any other farm in the country in terms of coping with the drought conditions, and what sort of things is happening on those farms at the moment in terms of coping with those conditions?
Yeah, a lot of the farms are under severe stress at the minute. We have been working on increasing stocking rates and driving output on the farm over the last 12 months. So a lot of these farms are carrying a lot higher levels of stock than they were in the previous year. And this has resulted in a challenge in trying to keep grass ahead of stock and also trying to build fodder for the winter. And we are looking at deficits on the farms. We're currently competing fodder budgets, and we're trying to see, I suppose, for the winter ahead where we're going to be in terms of the amount of fodder on farms. This may mean buying in extra fodder, maybe supplementing with extra concentrates, or maybe selling stock live or killing at an earlier age.
So obviously that's going to have a knock-on effect on targets that you had down for 2018 in terms of gross margins.
It will definitely have an effect. It looks like probably the gross margins across almost all of the farms are going to be back, and probably will set back our targets for 2 to 3 years to come. If you take it that next year we're going to start building up our fodder reserves again, and probably start to rebuild our stock numbers and get our targets back on plan again.
Thanks, Alan.
Okay, so I'm here with Peter Lawrence from Teagasc. Peter, the board behind you is on tackling herd health at Brian Doran's farm walk. What are you trying to get what message are you trying to get across to farmers today?
Okay, I suppose our key messages on this stop is the tackling herd health. So what's the key messages? Look, herd health is pivotal on any farm, and if health breaks down, then the whole system essentially breaks down. So that can lead to, I suppose, mortality, poor performance. Farmer will incur higher vet bills, the whole stress and extra labour of it, and I suppose bottom line, the profit is going to suffer. So look, in order to improve it, we can look at herd management. So that's the environment the animals are in. So whether it's indoors or outdoors, stocking rate, ventilation, all those things are very important. The actual stockmanship of the farmer, the husbandry practices, is timing of dosing, these colostrum management. These are all very important in terms of prevention. And then I suppose there's where Brian is at, the fact the intensity of the farm is after increasing. There's a higher disease pressure there with the extra stock numbers, but it's the use of vaccines and how they're working. So that's really what we're covering. And then I suppose the changes that Brian has made to his system here, using more vaccines, the fact he's buying in stock as well as his own, there's a higher risk there. He's erecting extra housing on the farm, just to cater for extra animals kept over the winter time, and extra calving pens after calving.
Okay, so I'm here with John Greeny. John is a Teagasc advisor on the Better Farm Beef Challenge. John, you're standing here at the breeding board on Brian Doran's farm walk. What are you telling farmers at this stand?
Yeah, so look, Brian and the other 26 participants, I suppose they've all chosen a certain amount of challenges, and Brian is he's chosen the breeding challenge here. So within the breeding challenge, he's different criteria to obviously reach. So increase the Eurostar index by €20. So 83 for 2017 when he joined the programme. Hope to get to over 100, 103. Hit the ICBF breeding target. So live calf per cow per year, calving down in 24 months, mortality at birth, mortality at 28 days, calving 365, compact calving spread then. So when Brian joined the programme, he was calving in the back end and he's calving in spring, so he felt that he was calving too long. The root to all evil on all suckler farms is, I suppose, calving all year round. So Brian hopes to go all spring, 12-week calving spread, 2-year-old calving. I know Brian buys in his replacements here, but he also be buying in calf heifers that are calving now at the age of 24 months. 75% of cows 4 and 5 star. Okay, so a bit of work to do here on this certain bit of a challenge here. So Brian's at 52% here, 54 for 2018 and 75%. Okay, so really and truly he should be a lot higher given these two figures here. So 93 overall for the herd, but the fact he's killing very high Eurostar value heifers. Okay, so that was a question he's going to be asked from the crowd, I suppose, is why isn't he breeding his own replacements or keeping on to his own replacements within the herd. Coming up to, I suppose, a bit of background on the herd. Black cow type here, predominantly first or second Craftsman dairy herd, running with a highly terminal limousine stock bull, okay, 153 on the terminal index. Replacements are generally sourced in, as I said there, in local marts, okay, but look, the proof's in the pudding. Brian's great stock. Calves last year done 1.3 kilos per day at grass, males, and then the males for this year done 1.26 back, I suppose, given the drought conditions and the fodder in front of cows. Females then done 1.21 and slightly up this year at 1.23. Okay.
So I'm here with Bob Sheriff, Teagasc. One of the topics today was soil fertility and the importance of soil fertility on the Better Farm as regards improving it. Bob, tell me a little bit about what you talked about here today to the farmers that attended the farm walk.
Adam, what we did was, well, basically soil fertility is the first step in the farm plan. There's lots of other steps in the farm plan, but just to focus on the soil fertility, the first thing that Brian did was he did a soil test. And I'll run through these ones fairly quick because I'll focus mainly on what the situation is on Brian's farm. Sample every 3 to 5 years, monitor soil pH, P and K, take samples accurately. Step 2 then, this is your soil pH, that's your lime requirement. Try and get your lime requirement correct, and we'll look at it in a little bit more detail now in a second. Step 3 then is look at your indexes for P and K. Our target index is index 3, and I'll move on then on the next board then on that as well. Step 4 then is slurry and farmyard manure, and the P and K from slurry and farmyard manure is as good as P and K from bagged fertiliser. So very important to get that out at the right time. The earlier you can get that out in the year, then the more nitrogen you get in the slurry as well. So the aim is to get it out in spring. I know spring last year was a disaster. Do the best you can. And step 5 then is the balance. So if we move on then to this is the situation on Brian's farm, and the graphs here or the pie charts are showing that his lime situation was particularly good. He was actually okay on lime, and he had a policy of spreading lime consecutively prior to even joining.
In terms of a national picture, that's not the national picture in terms of where our pH is it?
No, and in terms of our national picture, 90% of our soils, our soil tests that are coming back, are sub-fertile, and that means they're either low in lime, low in P, or low in K, or even low in all three. If they're low in one of them, they're sub-fertile. In fact, we've even seen now, we'll leave the lime status on Brian's farm first and foremost. He's very good on that, and that is for dry stock farms, that's a key, because lime, if your lime status is correct, it releases nitrogen and it releases phosphate from your soil, and it's a big kick, it's a big boost. So I would say the first thing to do, and we've been saying it for over the years, you know, well, that the thing is to get right is the first thing to get right is your lime status.
Okay.
Moving on then to P and K indexes. A disappointing thing, you're asking about the history of P and K in the country. P and K indexes are actually going backwards. We're actually getting worse on it rather than better over the last, say, 5 or 10 years. So I mean, that's a serious problem. And if you look at Brian's P and K index, our target index is index 3. 100% of his soils were either index 1 or index 2. Now that's disappointing. Now I would put in a little caveat there in that Wicklow soils tend to be very low in phosphate. They've low, and yet they still seem to be able to perform on low phosphate. But anyway, what we need to do is to drive up that index and try and get it up to index 3. If you want to move up one index, you put on half a bag of 16% phosphate. That'll move you up from index 1 to index 2. If you want to get from index 1 to index 3, you have to double that application rate. So you're talking about 1 bag per acre of 16% phosphate. If you look at the K index then, on Brian's farm he had 18% of the soils index 1, 29 at index 2, 53 at index 3. Fairly good on K index. But again, if you want to move up your K from an index 1 to index 2, like half a bag of muriate of potash will move that up. So then if you want to move it up the 2 indexes from index 1 to index 3, we're talking about a bag of muriate of potash per acre.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
So I'm here with Hugh Mahan, Teagasc Oak Park in Carlow, and I suppose grass is one of the central points to the Better Farm programme in terms of growing more grass, utilising more grass. Hugh, tell us a little bit about what you told the people attending the farm walk here today.
Okay, Adam, yeah. What Brian has been done here, I would say, over the last 18 months in terms of it's divided up, say for example, he's into more field divisions. He formerly had what's called 6 divisions, now he's called 24 divisions. So with that, for example, he's got able to control in terms of what his grass and the quality of grass that's available here. So for example, in the ideal world, we want to be grazing now when they get there to 1100, 1200 kilograms or 8 to 10 centimetres there of good quality grass, and achieve what's called at least a kilogram of weight gain on the stock that's grazing. Without that, what's called controlled grazing, we can lead to what's called issue where we get low utilisation. We get what's called grasses either gone very, very stemmy, pure utilisation, and then poor performance. So that is the main theme on that. And I suppose the big benefit of that, you know, is a follow on from that in terms of it's going to get greater what's called grass utilisation. So we can see, for example, on average, you know, the grass utilisation is 5 tonne of dry matter per hectare. So in order to what's called improve what's called the grassland sward, Brian has done what's called reseeding. So there's 12 acres reseeded here between what's called last autumn and this spring. And the benefits of reseeding are such that, for example, at higher stocking rates, you can get what's called more grass yield, which are newer grass yield varieties. So I suppose the big thing about it is that number one is that, you know, I look at this one here, it's about spring and autumn grazing. New varieties are very good. They're ranked on, gets the scores in relation to early grazing and autumn grazing. So ways of extending what's called your grazing season. I suppose the next one I look at say is more response to nitrogen. They will respond much better than what's called the older swards. Following from that, then you can go on what's called a higher stocking rate, okay, and consequent to that, improving animal performance. So we want to be targeting over the kilogram of weight gain on average for the grazing season. Next stuff is called better quality sward. So we have, and then increased grass production, and that is basically it. Along with what's called your new grass seed varieties, along with what's called a controlled grazing program of paddocks, you can get more from what's called your grass sward in terms of yield. And that, I suppose maybe just on Brian's position here, on the reseeding cost that he incurred here on the 12 acres of ground was 2,919, which comes out around 245, 247 euros an acre, which in relative speaking to natural costs is good, and it's on the low side.
Thanks very much, Hugh.
And yet, if you asked 100 farmers to explain the difference in price between an O equals and an R plus, like, I wouldn't like to be taking out too many bets on how many you may get, right? Like, it'd be very, very, like, the amount of beef farmers that don't understand that grid, and yet they're handling maybe 50, 60, 70, 100,000 euro worth of cattle a year. Okay. And they don't understand on the actual thing that's pricing their cattle for them, like.
Okay, I'm here with Matthew Halpin, beef specialist with the Irish Farmers Journal. Matthew, the title of your board is A Year of Extremes, Tackling Drought Conditions. What's the current advice in terms of coping with the current conditions out there on beef farms?
Yeah, well look, I suppose the message we're trying to get across the farmers first of all is, unfortunately, the only actual solution to this drought problem is going to be rain. And I suppose we have to stress as well that when we actually do get rain, the problem is it's going to be at least 2 weeks before rain is going to have an actual impact on growth. We already have deficits of 60, 70 millimetres of water, so in order to get growth back up and running, it's going to require rain, and that's the unfortunate thing about it. When that comes, we're not too sure. The board behind me is just really dealing with what we can do in the meantime, I suppose, to prolong the grazing in these bare paddocks and to try and get us over this difficult period. So if you look behind me there, we haven't topped there. We keep rotation length 25 days. Now unfortunately this is kind of a thing of the past at the moment on farms, because rotation length has nearly dropped to single digit figures on most of the farms. So whatever length the rotation is, we want to try and maintain it at this. So it says here, first of all, don't graze below 4 centimetres. Now this is simply just that we're not opening up the sward completely. Obviously topping should be completely avoided, but it's just to keep a bit of a cover on the grass so that it's not completely exposed to sunlight and it's not getting burnt to a crisp. Hopefully when we get some moisture, then there will be a little bit of grass cover to hold in the water and to keep it to keep the moisture in it for a bit of growth. The next thing is just to fill the gap with concentrates and silage. Now we try and emphasise that different groups are going to require different things. Possibly suckler cows, calves can go on ahead on a bit of creep, and suckler cows can stay behind on poor quality hay or maybe silage. But we really have to target the most important groups and the groups we're going to get away for sales. So Brian has steers here over on my right, and these cattle are going to have to be targeted with concentrates. Putting these on hay or poor quality silage, that's not going to do, because they're going to be prolonged over the winter and they're going to be here too long, especially in a year where fodder's difficult.
So possibly it could be a year they're going a bit earlier with creep in the weanlands as well, maybe in terms of keeping them going.
I'd say so. What we're trying to say is maybe lifting up the wires on fences, letting cows maybe stay in a bare paddock an extra day, 2 days, and let calves go on ahead, put out a few troughs with calves. Calves are curious at a young age. They're going to go out, they're going to start grazing creep, and they're going to go on and graze whatever bit of covers are there, and they're going to get the best quality grass. And this will make up for the slight lack of milk in the cows with the poor quality diet. We're also saying, and it's something that I suppose farmers are probably a bit too generous to their cows. Cows will probably milk off their backs for a month. If cows are in good condition, they will milk off their backs for a month, and they will be able to keep a certain amount of milk even on a poor diet.
So you have some figures here on water, just in terms of water intakes. Very important in this very hot weather, in terms of the water intakes of different types of animals, and the difference that I suppose the degrees temperature has on that. So very important to check that on a daily basis.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially I suppose the one positive we're taking from the current drought is the warmer conditions. Cows and cattle in general just aren't as demandant on feed, but we have to keep water in front of them. If we've no water and a lower amount of grass in the field, you're going to have unsettled cattle.
Thanks very much, Matthew. Okay, so the Irish Farmers Journal attended the Better Farm Beef Challenge, the Teagasc Irish Farmers Journal Better Farm Beef Challenge programme walk on Brian Doran's in County Wicklow, and I'm here with Pierce Kelly, Head of Knowledge Transfer, Dry Stock Knowledge Transfer in Teagasc, to talk about, I suppose, the drought situation, current drought situation on farms, and what farmers can do, I suppose, in the next few months to alleviate those problems. So Pierce, Brian at the moment, he's feeding silage to some stock. Is that similar advice that's going on there at the moment in terms of dry stock farmers to try and prolong that rotation?
Yeah, that's really it. Many of the people who've gone in the last couple of weeks and gone in with a bit of supplementation, whether it's silage or hay or meal, and that they were probably in a little bit better position than people that maybe have left it a bit too long. The sooner we're in the east of the country now, and the drought is probably here that bit longer than maybe in other parts of the country. So for maybe other parts of the country that are heading into where we were 3-4 weeks ago here, that's really the advice we're giving them. The sooner they can go in and act and kind of start stretching out that rotation. What you don't want to end up in a situation is where the whole place is just bared off, grazed out completely, and you've no grass left whatsoever.
So you're saying to hold on a paddock at the moment, maybe you're better to hold and try and hold them on an area of the farm and fodder away?
Well, if you're going to do that, you could do that with some stock. You could put one bunch of stock in, if you like, to kind of reduce the demand on the rest of the area and hold them and feed them fodder. But for the overall bunch, what you wouldn't be saying is to keep them, you still need to kind of maintain this rotation of kind of 28-30 days. But what you need to be doing is bringing a bit of fodder into the rotation as well. So keep them moving. Don't be grazing down too tight, because if you graze down too tight when this rain eventually does come, it'll just take too long to recover. So you want to keep them moving, start bringing in a bit of fodder in terms of silage or hay, if needs be, bringing in a bit of meal into certain categories of stock as well.
So I suppose turns next winter then, lots of farmers are worried about, I suppose, stocks of fodder coming in. What are we saying to farmers in terms of trying to alleviate those problems?
Yeah, so there's kind of a double whammy problem at the moment. The farms that are drought that have a problem today, but we still have the carryover from last winter, which is where people are short of feed. We're nervous that we're going to end up with another long winter, could easily happen. We're telling people they need to start budgeting for at least a 6-month winter. Within that 6-month winter, then they need to look at the different quantities of stock, the silage they need. So you take, for argument's sake, Brian, he's going to have 45, 47 cows. Some of those cows may not be in calf, so he'll be able to cull off a few of those. But if he has a 6-month winter, if he was to feed the 1.4 tonnes of silage that they'll eat the guts of 400 tonnes of silage. He has 17 0 to 1 year olds, his own calves and bought-in calves. 6-month winter for those at 0.7 of a tonne, and that's with 2 to 3 kilos of meal. They'll eat close to 300 tonnes. And then he has some finishing stock, 30 cattle that will be there for 3 months rather than 6 months, and a ton of silage with 5 or 6 kilos of meal to finish them. They'll need 90. So he needs 780 tonnes of silage, very close to 800. In stock at the moment, he only has 310 tonnes in the pit, but he's 170 tonnes of bales, which is close to 500 tonnes. He expects to cut tomorrow, the next day, 18 acres of second cut silage, probably have 5 to 6 bales of silage on that. So that's the guts of 100 bales, 80 to 90 tonnes of silage he'll bake on that, on top of the 480. So that's still a good bit off the 780 he needs. The other side of this is he's feeding 2 to 3 bales at the moment. So he's taking the advice that we were talking about there a minute ago. He's trying to stretch his rotation, so he's feeding 2 to 3 bales. If that goes on a month, that 80, 90 bales could be gone. So we're really saying he needs other options. So what he's really doing, the big thing Brian can do here is he has readily available access to straw because he's grown barley on the farm. He's not going to feed 1.4 tonnes per month. He's only going to feed about 60% of that. So whatever that is, that's about 7.75 of a tonne rather than 1.4 tonnes. So instead of feeding 400 tonnes of silage, he'll feed about 240 tonnes of silage to the the suckler cows. He's not the 1-year-olds. He could supplement, but he's not going. He probably won't have to. These 30 cattle that are coming into the shade, he might get away with finishing half them off grass if he starts feeding more meal between now and housing. So instead of feeding 90 tonnes today, maybe we're at 50 tonnes. So instead of needing 780 tonnes, he's back to 580 tonnes, and that'll go a hell of a long way to solving Brian's problem. If needs be, he could actually go to a lot more straw here. He's going to go 60-40, 60% straw, 40% straw. But Brian himself has said, listen, if he needs to, he can go all straw. It does mean he'll have to feed probably 4 to 5 kilos of ration with that straw. If he does, that needs be. His other option is he may actually, when he cuts this 18 acres of second cut silage, he is definitely looking at doing a third cut, so that'll bring in a bit of silage as well. He just needs to be careful here though, because if he needs to also start building covers this autumn, so that he doesn't end up running out of grass in the last rotation too soon.
So once a farmer has 50% of the requirement, really soya hulls, maize distillers, something like that on straw, it will get you out of, instead of buying very expensive silage or hay over the next couple of months.
They're the options really, and the big thing here really is you need to start supplementing those feeds from day one when they're housed. You know, in previous fodder crises, people realise kind of come Christmas or come January or come February, March, when they weren't turning cattle out, that they'd hit a problem, and then they start stretching. But if you can stretch this silage, if you can stretch this 400 or 500 tonnes of silage that he's going to make, if you can stretch that from the first week in November all the way through to the end of March, it's a much better plan, because you will be able to stretch it with extra meals. It costs money, and people need to find where they're going to get that money. So they need to talk to merchants, they need to talk to banks, they need to talk to different credit sources, and that's probably the bigger issue for a lot of people, where they're going to get the money to buy this meal. But you're 100% right, Adam. You know, bales of silage, bales of hay, all of those things, they're worth money, but they're only worth money up to a point.